Hi guys, welcome along. This one's a little bit different. It's not 8-bit retro. I have a good mate of mine who actually has a automotive industry, and his offsider has a VW car, and it got water in it and leaked, and it shorted out the controller on the base of the seat, which controls the in and out movement, etc. So he's asked me, can I have a look at it and see what I can do? And I said, it's electronics, shouldn't be too hard, so long as it's not a part that we can't get. So hopefully you guys would like this one. It's a bit different, so sit back, have a look and see what you think. Hi guys, welcome back. Something a little bit different this time. I actually have a mate who has a automotive industry and does warrant of fitnesses and that for cars, and his offsider that works with him asked me if I'd have a look at this for him, and it's a controller unit for a automatic seat, for an electric seat in a VW. So he said it got filled with water and all the lights and everything were on, and then nothing worked after that, so in the seat anyway, but the rest of the car seems to be okay. So I said to him, I'll have a look at it. I can't guarantee anything, but we will have a look and see what we can see. So here we go. So let's open her up and see what's inside. So he's already taken the case apart for me, which is pretty good, because these have a lot of little clips all over the place, as you can see by looking down it in there. I'll just grab something to show you. And so as you can see in here, there's these little clips here over the back as well, and there's two on either side here. Now they go either side of that and either side of that, and they make it really hard. Unless you've got about 4 hands, it makes it really hard to get it off. So I was actually really thankful he took that off. So yeah, so we take it out of here and that back just drops off. Take that out. So I asked him if he knows anything about these, or if he's got a schematic or anything like that, and he doesn't. So it's going to have to be a little bit of detective work, I think. I'm thinking that the problem is it's dead, there's nothing. So I'm picking it's going to be on this power side of the circuit, which is over here. So your power will come in here, and it'll be over in this side of the circuit here. This will be all your high power part of the circuit for the motors, for the seats and everything else, and this will be all your control logic for heating your seats and all that sort of carry on. So I think the best thing we can do with this is I'll zoom in on this a bit for you before we start, but I think we need to go through and find out where our power goes on here, because I have no idea, but I'm picking it's probably these larger planes. One will be ground and one will be plus 12, and then from there to find out, and looking at these probably are the two big chunky either transistors or diode packs or that, and so it looks like a couple of controller ICs around here as well. But we'll go through and we'll check for any diodes and stuff like that. So bear with me for a minute and I'll just zoom you in and we'll carry on. And as I said to you before, it's not flash, it's it's not these flash multimeters, but in a lot of respects I do have another couple of meters floating around, but as with everything, when you try to find them you never can. But the only thing this doesn't have is a beeper on it. And as I was saying to you in a video or so back, that there are circuits around where you can actually make to adapt these, and you can either do it if there's room internally, or if not, you can actually make them as an add-on circuit on the outside. So we may look at doing something like that anyway. So what I will do is I'll just set this up now, and so what we want is diode mode or continuity mode, depending on which one it is on your meter. This does both on diode mode, so it does continuity and it does diode. So we'll check it. Yep, continuity mode. So now the first thing we really need to do is we need to find out where on this, and sorry, I'll bring it a little bit closer to me, so if you want to hang on a sec, I will just adjust the camera. There we go. Okay. And so what we'll do is, I'll keep that in shot for you. Put somewhere where you're going to see it, about there. So what we're going to do is find out where the power is on this. So And looking on the back, there's nothing really that sort of says anything about the power. I'm picking this one. This tab comes through and this tab comes through, which are actually soldered to these ground planes, and then they have wires going through to the other side. So if we turn it over, they're the two biggest pins that are actually in here. So if we actually have a look in this, you can see how those two end pins are bigger than all the others. I would say that's probably because they're carrying power and earth. So I take it those would probably be the two pins that we need. So what I'll do is I'll just pick a pin, hang on, and I will grab some glasses first because my eyes are not as good as they used to be. Especially not on doing circuit work anyway. So I'll put the lead onto one of these and let's see if we can find out what goes where. So, no, nothing there. So what about the other one? There we go. So that goes through to the side of this track. So that's actually going to, there's actually looks like a diode or a capacitor down here, surface mount one. And so one side of it is going to this, which will then also go to the side of either of those. So we'll just check that, make sure that is true. And yep, that goes through to there and there. So both those are going across. So I would say they're either it looks like that has a bar on it, so I would say that's probably a diode. So what we can do is, since we're in the diode mode, we can check it and see if it's a diode or not. So yeah, we go off that way and then we go around the other way. So we have nothing there. And come back around the proper way. I might have to change the tips for this because the there we are. Yep. So that's acting like a diode that way, and not a diode that way. So I would say that is probably the power feeding in. So I would say that those, because then that runs down that track off of this capacitor, runs down from probably a resistor actually, runs down here to the positive lead. So I'd say this is this is the positive rail because it's running down to the positive side of this capacitor. So if we go from here to get the right place, from there to there, that's that. And so what we do, go over this side. There's nothing there. Nothing there. So I wonder if that's a resistor or a capacitor going across there. Alright, check it on to resistance. Just see what we get across this. Yeah. So it looks like it's a resist. This is a resistor, and it's probably, yeah. So it looks like it is a resistor. So that's just not allowing me to see through the resistor to here. Alright, so we'll go back onto diode mode. So I would say that is probably the positive track running from here through here back onto there, which is on this pin here, which goes over to the back of here. Yep, which is out. So that would be our positive pin. So okay, so that works all out okay. So we can go through the board and say this is our positive then. So what we can do is we can get a pen, mark a pen, and what we'll do is we'll just put a mark on this board so we know that's probably our positive. And so then that tells us that the other side is going to be the negative, so that should be the negative side of it. So there's no short directly across those, so yeah, there's no short. That was probably just a capacitor. And we shorted it back the other way and they discharged, so yeah. So I'd say that's pretty good. So what we have is then that pad's going under and it's coming across to this transistor or diode or what it might be. So what we will do is we will check this and see. And we'll check it and see if it's a diode or a... Well, that's open circuit that way, so I'll try it the other way. And that's open circuit that way, or short circuit I should say. Let's try reversing it. No, same that way. And same that. Now that should not do that. There is no way that should be doing that. The only way you can be 100% sure is to actually lift this off. But if that one's done it, I wonder if the other side is the same. And again, we'll swap it around. Yep. Yep. So both of those are short. So they're going to be 2 points of contention to start with. So what I might do is have a look and see whether they're a transistor or high-speed switching transistor or something first. So what I'll do is I'll look up the numbers on those, which they are a BYV32EB. So I'll jump online and grab those and have a look and see what they are and if they're available. Okay guys, so we're just going online to see if we can find these this transistor diode or whatever it may be. It's going through, and it's that one there, and yeah, they are still available. So let's have a look on this semiconductor, and by the looks of it, they're actually a quick switching diode. Yeah, see that's what we should be seeing, as a diode both ways, and we're not. We're actually seeing it as a short across both of those. So that means both those diodes are gone, and that's in both those diode packs. So yeah, we definitely need to replace those, and they come in the two different formats, which this is the one we need here, which is the SOT404. So yeah, as I say, you know, a little bit of current can go through them, high temperature, but yeah, it's taken something to make them go. We know what they are, and we can get some. So right, so we'll go back out of here and out of here, and so what we'll do is AliExpress has them. Right, and so yep, so we have a look on AliExpress, and yep, we can get them 10 pieces for $7.85, and I think, was it $6.86 postage. So we only need 2. That just gives us a few extras, and I think we'll be quite happy in getting those. The only problem is we're going to have to wait about 4 weeks for them, so wait for those to come in before we can go any further. The other thing we'll do is we should now go and check the rest of them. As with everything, the cheapest place to get something like that is through AliExpress or China, and compared to what they want for 1 or 2, a pack of 10 is cheaper. So it just means we're going to have to wait about 4 weeks for them to get in here. And the chappie I was talking to who owns this, he's in no big rush for it, so it's only a spare vehicle for him, so he's not in a big rush for it. So I've ordered those. It's for the seats, for when the seats are going backwards and forwards and that, and both of them are identically the same. And yes, I think what's happened is this circuit hasn't been in water. What had happened is the leads that go from here go down to the floor under the seat, and on the floor is where the brick is that they plug into. So they has a plug in a socket where it actually connects into, and that's where the water's got in. And what it's probably done is bridged the contacts and shorted it, and fired through a high current through the battery, I think, and fried them. But what we'll do is we'll go through and just check these controllers around here by these diodes and that too, and the capacitors. So we'll just check those as well and see if there's anything wrong with those. And these ones here will probably be similar to that, but I'm picking these ones being dual-legged. They have a sense in them, so this will be for like if the seat stalls when it goes back too far, and knows actually to switch the power off of it. And that's what the relays will be for. So what we'll do is we'll check this pin. And here. Okay, that way. Okay. That's a diode that way. And it's a very high resistance that way. Let's try reversing it and see what we get. So short circuit there. I mean, no conductivity there, no conductivity there. Okay, so that looks like it might be okay, and that it's probably, the high resistance on here is probably picking up something on the board. So we'll check the next two pins. And that looks like it's some sort of a resistive sense type. Yeah, and I would say that's probably some sort of a diode. Internally, what we can do is I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I think that is okay. But what we can do is we can look up the schematic for that as well and see about the availability of it. So, and that one is the writing's a little bit harder to see on that one. But what I'll do is I'll just check this one, and then I'll put these under a magnifying glass, or I'll put on some heavier glasses to actually check it. But I'll just check this last diode pack over here. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There. Okay. Where's this around then? Yep, we've got diode there. We've got diode there. Diode there, and diode there. That seems to be consistent, I think, because going the opposite way there is no current flowing in that direction, which we need to look up what that is as well, but I think you'll find that those two are probably okay, and that maybe these two took all the hit when the power shorted, so we'll look at that, but we'll also look at these relays as well, and the capacitors. The capacitors look okay, the tops haven't gone on them, so I'm pretty sure the capacitors will be fine. And so what we can do is just, I'll check the relays and just make sure they're okay. So check the relays. What we need to do is check the coils. Yeah, 280, 290. That's about right for the coils on these. So if the coils are still okay, where's that other one down here? So if the coils are still okay, I would say the relays are pretty much alright, because that's your energizing power to fire them up. So if anything had gone wrong in the control side of it, the coils would have gotten hot in that anyway. So I'm picking that probably fine. But yeah, until we can get, because these are just killing the power in straight away, so we definitely need to replace these. But until those are replaced, we can't really say how much further in it's gone on this. So what I've done is I've brought up the schematics data sheets for the two other ICs that are on there, and as you can see, they are both also high speed transistor packs, and have drains and sources in them, etc. So they seem to read okay. I talked to the chappie about it, who this belongs to, and I've said to him, like if we get the other ones, by the time we get them over here, it's like $40 for the other two. and to buy a replacement second-hand unit's about $100 or so. So I said to them, if these first two don't work and there's a fault in it still, it's going to be cheaper just to replace it, because I can't guarantee that replacing those other two are going to fix this problem. So in all honesty, I hope they're going to work. So we might just have to sit back and wait for them to come in, and when they come in, we'll desolder the ones that are on there and put the new ones in and just check them out, and hopefully he has a working unit. Alright guys, well, until next time, I'll be back with you probably in 4 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on when the parts get here. We'll catch you then.